Discover the number one reason you are not seeing consistent sales in your online business. Learn why visibility matters. And the number one tool that I use to help my clients generate leads, validate their offers, and start to sell with confidence. Because chances are, if you've been stuck tweaking your messaging or tweaking your offers without seeing any results, the problem may not be what you think. And in today's episode, I will reveal to you the real reason why you're not seeing consistent conversions in your online business. And it has less to do with your copy than you might think. Welcome to the Kingdom Revolution Podcast, the online podcast for mamas against the mainstream agenda. We are redefining faith in online business to empower you, the Christian mama, to find and strengthen your roar, to clarify your calling so that you can create, grow, and launch a profitable, impactful, and scalable business by God's design without being a slave to social media and without sacrificing your faith and values. You know that you've been called to business and you want to do it God's way, not the world's way. A business that is based off the blueprint He put inside of you. A business by God's design, one that incorporates your testimony and inner fire to make a difference in this world. Like me, you don't mind going down a few rabbit holes, but you don't have to go down one to see that there is a war on future generations, a war on families, and a war against you, that kingdom warrior mama called to business, a war to silence your voice and movement. I believe your online business is your battlefield. It's how you get to show up and use that voice to create kingdom wealth and take back what the enemy has stolen. You have that inner fire to change your family's legacy, to take your passions, knowledge, life experiences, or even that hobby that you love and create an online business, bringing a heavenly solution down to an earthly problem. Maybe you have too many ideas. You're not even quite sure where to start. Or maybe you've been struggling for a few months, even years, duct taping it all together with worldly tactics and strategies that are just leaving you confused, overwhelmed, and questioning your calling. If that's you, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm your host, Kristin Durante. I'm a wife, mama, ex-9-to-5er, and daughter of the King. I am a mama against the mainstream agenda who is using her voice and her online business to fight against the evils going on in today's world. I believe God is calling women back into position to a kingdom revolution, to the battlefield, to find and strengthen their voice, to stand firm for biblical truth, to be the change they want to see in this world. My mission battlefield? Restoring the family unit the way God intended, to bring mamas home so that they can be the one raising their warriors for the kingdom while making impact and income. So join me each week as I dive into honest conversations about my journey, tactical tips, spiritual and mindset strategies, along with the step-by-step plan to empower you to take that step of faith, to partner with God, to create, build, and launch an online business by His design without being a slave to social media. So if you're ready to say yes to all of this, you're not afraid to rock that status quo and be part of a kingdom revolution, then armor up with Ephesians 6 and put on the full armor of God, because you are a warrior for the kingdom, and He is going to use you and your online business to do some pretty amazing things here on this side of heaven. Hey, welcome back to the Kingdom Business Revolution Podcast. I'm your host, Kristin Durante. Today, I want to talk to you about the number one reason why you aren't seeing consistent sales in your online business. And most of the time, when sales aren't coming in, we're told it's your messaging. You need to change your copy, or it's your offer. Fix that and conversions will happen. Now, don't get me wrong. Messaging and offers definitely matter. And if you are not consistently making an offer to your audience, making an offer to your email list, chances are you're not going to have consistent revenue and sales coming into your business. The messaging and your offer are important, and they need to speak directly to your ideal client. But here's the truth that a lot of coaches skip over. If you don't have authority, you aren't going to have an audience. And if you don't have an audience, you don't have an audience to sell to. You won't even know if your messaging or if your offer are the real problem. And in order for you to get the authority status that you are the expert in your niche, you have to get visible. This is what I call the vicious audience building cycle and the authority loop. In episode 174, we talked about this in great detail. It is the kingdom woman in business conundrum, if you will. You can't have sales unless you have an audience, and getting an audience is difficult without your authority status elevated. And visibility helps elevate your authority status. We can't test your messaging or validate your offers without having actual conversations with the people that you are called to serve. Visibility is what puts you in front of more of these people so that you can generate more leads and open the doors to those conversations. Because each and every day, we need to be having conversations that lead to conversions. So without visibility, getting you in front of the right people to elevate your authority status, you're stuck changing your messaging, your offer, and doing all of that in the dark, which leaves you frustrated, exhausted, and second-guessing yourself, and second-guessing if you heard the Lord right, and you're wondering, is this even what I'm supposed to be doing? Because we put something out there, or we're building it in a bubble, and when we put it out there, our offer flops. When it wasn't a bad offer, we just need to make sure that we're validating with the right people. In episode 175, I talked about the beta launch method, which is a strategy I use with my clients in order to validate their offer and get paid to create their program, their course, their membership, whatever it is, get paid to monetize as you are building it out with your perfect fit people. So you can go back to those previous episodes after this one. That is why visibility gets to come before fine-tuning your messaging or your offers. You may have a good message. You may have absolute clarity on who it is you're called to serve, the symptoms that they're facing, the number one problem they want solved, and you might have offer clarity too. But if you don't get it in front of the right people, you think it's a flop, then we go back to the drawing board and we change our offer or we change our ideal client, and you're starting back at the beginning again, which is the hardest spot. I see this cycle so many times. You get started, you put something together, you put it out into the world, no one wants it, let me go back to the drawing board. And you're in this constant loop of start, stop, and you never get anywhere. And it's keeping you in the hardest spot of building your business and having a profitable and impactful business by God's design. The beginning stages, this spot right here, before you actually validate your offer, you're getting paid to create it. And then you move into this well-oiled machine of increasing your authority status, building an audience, having a sales system, and then a delivery system to deliver your offer. Right before all of that, this is the hardest spot. So if you don't have an audience building system, a sales system that is converting those leads, and a delivery system of where you actually deliver your offer, you're still in the beginning stages of your business. And that's the hardest and toughest place to be in the different stages of online business, especially if you don't have a coach and a mentor that can exponentially get you across that beta launch finish line where you have launched your founding member program and you're actually getting paid to create it, which allows you to fine-tune your messaging and actually get feedback from the people who want what you have to offer. And here's what gets even more frustrating. Most women I work with find themselves caught in that authority loop. You can't get sales without an audience. You can't grow an audience without that authority and expert status. And you can't build authority without having sales, without having social proof, without actually working with someone and having them say, yes, she can help me. So does that sound familiar? The cycle keeps so many amazing, brilliant kingdom women entrepreneurs like yourself stuck. And here's the kicker. It's not that you're not good at what you do. You have an area of expertise and God has called you. It's the system that you're using that's broken. And what makes things even more worse is that you're taught to be a slave to social media and you get stuck in this vicious audience building cycle, turning out content after content or freebie after freebie, hoping something sticks, hoping the algorithm will show it to someone new, or providing value in other people's Facebook groups, hoping they come to your page and it's linked up to a lead magnet and they get on your email list. It feels like you're shouting out into the void and nothing is sticking and working. So then you change your offers and your messaging again and again, trying something different. But when you do that, you're confusing the people that are following you and you're in the stop-start cycle again. You're not getting feedback from the right people because you don't actually have the audience. And without the audience, you don't have the sales. There's a way to break these vicious cycles. The fastest way to grow your authority status and build an audience of warm to hot leads and bring a cash injection into your business is through leveraging the power of relationships. And hint, hint, we are in a relationship-based marketing era in 2025 and beyond. That is key. And if you don't understand what that is, stay tuned to future podcast episodes or come join me inside the Kingdom Business Revolution community on Facebook. I'll be doing some insights into the relationship-based marketing era that we're in and how we have to stop building 2020, 2021 businesses in 2025 because it's just not working. So the link for those will be in the show notes. Come join us in that community where I do weekly trainings and give you insight to actually what is going on in this market and how to actually build a business by God's design that will be simple, scalable, and sustainable. So back to the fastest way to grow your authority, build your audience, and have a cash injection in your business is through kingdom collaborations and leveraging relationships, adding value to other people's audiences, specifically virtual events and summits that have you showcase and interview other people in your market and in your niche. I'm not going to get into the details of that. I teach my clients how to host these summits in the Summits with Impact program. And inside my high ticket group coaching programs, it is something that you get for free when you invest inside the Business by God's Design Academy or the Kingdom Business Revolution Advisory. And if you're wondering how you can work with me to actually capitalize on these strategies and get out of that vicious audience building cycle, establish your authority, build your audience, have some cash injection coming into your business, and launching your beta founding member program, go to the show note. There'll be links there, and you can also set up a complimentary 15-minute consultation with me and figure out what you're actually missing and where I can support you on your business journey. When you collaborate, you step in front of already established audiences. These aren't random strangers scrolling Instagram. These aren't random strangers in Facebook communities where you've been showing up and trying to add value. These people are already there. They already have a problem and they're looking for support. And the best part, when you host a collaboration strategy and leverage an interview series and you are interviewing other authority status figures in your market and niche, they are putting their stamp of approval on you, the host of the event. They're essentially saying to their people, hey, this is someone you can trust. I am a part of her event because she's someone that you can trust. And even if you are a guest speaker at someone else's summit, it works that same way through authority and trust osmosis. The host of that collaboration is putting the stamp on you as well as a guest speaker, saying, hey, this is someone you can trust. That authority status is elevated so much quicker, and it can take a no-namer like you in the online space, like it did for me in 2022, and elevate your authority status. And people look at you as someone they can trust and someone that has an answer to the problem that they have. So hosting your own event elevates that and gets you to that status so much quicker. The transfer of trust means you're not just generating cold leads. You're bringing in lukewarm to hot leads of the people you're called to serve who are already more open, more receptive, and easier to convert. Kingdom collaborations and leveraging relationships fast track both your audience growth and your authority at the same time. And I get it. I've been there. I've changed my offers. I've changed my messaging. For years, I struggled the first 2 years of my business. I only made $27 in the first 2 years of my business because I was struggling with my messaging. I would change it. I would change my offer. And it felt like nothing was landing. And it wasn't until I turned my resignation in for my 9-to-5 after I had my little one. I was on maternity leave. And the Lord knew the desires of my heart when I asked him if now's the time that I can go all in on my business and be home to raise my son for the kingdom. Instead of having someone else raise him, I heard him say, I will provide. And he showed me the way through collaborations, first starting being a speaker at other people's summits. Then I took what I didn't like in the online space and I created my own summit in August of 2022, which led to a huge cash injection into my business, which allowed me to capitalize on the momentum after the summit and go into a sold out one-on-one program for the rest of the year, which led me to where I am today. That's how Business by God's Design and the Kingdom Business Revolution was born. I had conversations, I got feedback, and discovered exactly what my audience was craving and a way to market my business without being burnt out in a way that felt sustainable. Clarity didn't come from guessing. It came from data, from having conversations, and from people I had built a relationship with because I got visible. So if you aren't seeing the sales that you want to see in your business, you need to take a step back and look at your overall business and figure out where there's holes. What's not working like a well-oiled machine? Is it the audience building system? Do you even have a system for lead generation? Is it your sales system? Do you even have a sales system and a way to bring people into a sales system to nurture and to make offers to? And then do you have a way to deliver your offer so that they can actually get a results-based transformation? So ask yourself, with those 3 stages, you can think of it as the lead generation, audience building cycle. How is that working? Are you consistently bringing in leads of your perfect fit client? Are you nurturing them and bring them into a sales system where you can provide value and make offers to them? And then are you bringing them into the delivery system where you actually deliver that offer and help them get a transformation? And if not, where is it broken? And chances are, if you're listening to this, you probably need to work on all 3 because they all work together. Or is it the fact that you're trying to build a stage 3 business when you're still at the foundation level in stage 1 and you haven't built your authority yet? You haven't gotten in front of the right people to build that authority status, to break out of that vicious audience building cycle and the authority loop that is keeping you stuck. And if that's you, your way out is kingdom collaborations. The audience building system, the sales system, that delivery system, and establishing your authority through kingdom collaborations is exactly what we focus on inside the Business by God's Design Academy. That's why it is a 12-month group coaching program, because it is customizable to where you are in the stage of business that you're at. It provides the complete kingdom business ecosystem, everything that you need to get the authority to build your email list and capitalize on the momentum that the online business space loves in order to have a sales system that brings in revenue, taking your people to your paid offer. There are still a few spots available inside the Business by God's Design Academy for August of 2025 and the beginning of September. So if you are interested, the link to that will be in the show notes. We can also set up a complimentary consultation session to see if it would be a good fit for you and where you are in your business. My friend, don't delay, because your business and the offer that you have is needed. The problem that the Lord is asking you to bring forth, that heavenly solution He wants you to bring down on this side of heaven, is needed more now than ever. You are called to business to not only help those people you're called to serve, but because as a kingdom woman entrepreneur, your business is called to change and shift paradigms, to create kingdom wealth and wreak a havoc on the enemy on this side of heaven. This is for such a time as this. So stop spinning your wheels. Stop duct taping your business together and get a complete strategy that will help you go from that vicious audience building cycle to having a profitable and sustainable and impactful business by God's design, using a strategy and systems that are simple, because simplicity scales. All right, my friend, I pray that this blessed you. Have an amazing day. Share it with a business bestie. And don't forget to head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave me a review so we can get these amazing episodes in front of more amazing women like you. That's it for today, friends. Real quick before you go, if this podcast has blessed you in some way, the number one way that you can thank me is to leave a written review over on Apple Podcasts. The second thing you can do is take a screenshot of this episode or that review and tag me over on social media in your stories at Kristin Duranci. And then I will share you in my stories and give you a shout out. This not only blesses me, but you are creating a ripple effect by getting this message into the hands of others that might need to hear it. And know that there's only one you. Someone is out there waiting to hear from you. They're waiting for your message, your story, and your solution to their problem. You are the expert they're waiting to hear from. I want you to know this, feel this, and most importantly, be this. Never underestimate the impact and power that you have been given through the Holy Spirit. Be blessed, friend, and I'll see you on the next episode.